Hey everybody, we're here with horse racing enthusiast John. John, thanks so much for taking the time to speak to us today.
Thank you, Linda. Appreciate it.
This is part of our Horse Racing for Beginners series. And if you missed our last video, please check out the one on syndicates, which is entitled myracehorse.com. Very informational. And also, if you like our videos, please like, share, and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. So today's topic includes the roles of the people who bring the race to fruition. So with that being said, there's a lot of people, John, who are in the background or the forefront who actually have a very strong and important role with regard to the track and racehorsing. So if you could kind of go over that with us, because we're trying to learn more about the entire game.
Absolutely, Linda. Thank you. So I think this is a good jumping off point, describing all of the individuals that get together to make a day at the races. To get a horse to run, what has to happen? And that includes people on the track, the back side of the track. Maybe it includes people working at the trainer's facility. So first I'd like to start with, I think this is a good one to go to in one of the earlier ones in this series for beginners, because, I can see, some people who come into the track and they don't know, what's going on, but there's a lot of different things and a lot of moving parts. But I'm happy to sort of, again, this isn't the end all be all, but this is a good summary. So I thought the best way to start was probably with the horses, because that you could probably do a whole episode on the horses. And we could break the horses down in a few different categories, right? So if we look at horses that are 4 years old and under, those horses are called either a colt, which is the male horse, a baby, if you will, or a young horse, and a filly, which is a young female horse. Now, we also have colts are sometimes gelded when they're younger, so they would just be called a gelding at the time if they were in fact gelded. And then you also have another category, which is kind of a weird category, and you see it every now and then, but it has to do with it's called Ridgeling. And a Ridgeling is a horse that's neither gelded nor is it a totally intact colt. It has had some sort of problem in the testicles for some reason. One has dropped, one hasn't, but I mean, it's a category, so there you go. So that's our coverage on the 4-year-olds and under. So 4-year-olds and older for the horses, we have mares and we have horses. That's what a male adult horse is called, is a horse. And then we have geldings would also run in the same category. So that's just for thoroughbred racehorsing, right? There are other racehorse sports that you can look at. You can look at quarter horses. You can look at trotters. Those are the ones that carry the sulky behind and go around and like almost like a cart, like Ben-Hur kind of thing. And then you have Arabians. I've seen Arabians run as well. So just something to keep your eye open to. But those are the horses. It's not too terribly difficult. Jockeys, I would say they're the next. So the jockeys are the athletes that are riding on the back of the horses. And I think the jockeys that ride in thoroughbred racehorses are some of the most athletic and tough individuals out there. They are often, they often fall. You're riding a 1,200-pound animal. Even going into the starting gate, you bump up against the side. The 1,200-pound animal is pushing you against the side. They get knees wrenched and hurt and so forth. And then they fall, and that's no fun. And then a 1,200-pound animal falls on you. So you got to give them a lot of credit. And some of the best jockeys have an amazing sense of timing. They have a clock in their head and balance. Those are like the two key sort of things that you really need to be a jockey. Now I'm gonna refer everybody to Seabiscuit, the book Seabiscuit, written by Hildebrand. And on page, I think it was around 73, it could be like 72, it could be 74. She writes so eloquently about jockeys that anyone who is really interested, get that book and read that page. It just tells you about the symphonic movements of the horse and the way that the jockey has all their weight pushed upon on 2 feet in the stirrups and in the balance and what it takes to sort of get to move as a jockey. It's so eloquent and it's worth reading. You also, so if you have jockeys, you have apprentice jockeys. What's an apprentice jockey? Apprentice jockey is a jockey that's learning, in essence. And you'll see that usually in a notation in the DRF, that you'll see like a 119-pound race. That means the horses carry 119 pounds. But there's one horse in there that is like 114 pounds. That's because it has an apprentice jockey. It has an apprentice jockey on its back, and that jockey's learning, and they get a credit for that. All right, so moving away from the jockeys, we have starters and assistant starters. The starter is the one with the button who presses the button and the doors open. He or she is usually standing about 10 yards in front of the starting gate, but on the other side of the rail. Okay. Assistant starters are those that usher the horses into. You might see them hold hands and sort of bring the horses into the gate. Sometimes particularly young horses are reluctant to get into that gate. So they, and those people, I've seen a presentation from a couple of those people, and those people get beat up as well. They're the thankless. They have the thankless job. One of the thankless jobs on the track. Outriders. You'll see outriders accompany the horse in the post parade. They're the pony. They ride the pony that accompanies the horse that's going to run the race. Now, the horse running the race knows like something's going on. I'm getting ready to run. This is nerve-wracking. And the pony's there to calm them down and to make it seem, because they're herd animals, right? So being with another animal helps them to sort of calm down. So the outriders usher their to the assistant starter. They bring the horse to the assistant starter. You'll see them change the lead, and then they'll bring them into the starting gate, and the outriders will go to their assigned spot around the track. You'll always notice just before the horses break from the starting gate, there's a horse about 30 yards ahead. And if you've ever seen a horse break through the gate and get away, that horse gets on the gas right away, catches up to it. This is a thoroughbred racehorse they're chasing, and corrals it and make sure that everyone stays safe. It's pretty fascinating. So you have all you have to do is go to the track, and you'll see all the heavy equipment and the trucks that are involved. My friend Bo, who's a teamster, these guys got to be teamsters out there, Bo, don't you think? So they're truck drivers. They're driving water trucks. They're driving trucks that rake the land, the track itself, and what they call harrow it. Dig it up and so that it's soft and it's soft to the touch and a better landing spot for the horses. Sometimes if it's raining, they'll seal the track, so they drag these metal plates, heavy metal plates, across the track. It's almost squeegeeing the water off the track and pressing it down, so that it's almost like running on concrete. And it's still mud conditions, or slop conditions, but it's called sealed. Okay, so moving away from the ambulance. I almost forgot the ambulance. There's another truck driver. Horse racing is the only sport where the ambulance drives around right behind you as you're going down the track. What does that tell you about how safe it is? It's like these athletes get hurt all the time, and there's an ambulance right there driving around with them. Other roles on the track. You have the cashiers. The cashiers are at the windows, betting windows, almost like a bank type scenario, where they take your bets. You pay them money, they take your bets, you get a ticket. Or likewise, if you win, you bring your ticket back and they give you money back for the ticket based upon the odds. You have the stewards. The stewards are the officials on the track. They're the ones who are responsible for judging the contest, ensuring that it's fair, making sure that the right horses are they're tattooed or chipped nowadays, making sure it's the right horse, making sure that it's